Hello and welcome. This is Ocean. This is going to be our monthly check-in or check-up or whatever we want to call it. And as you can see, I moved my readings, the serious ones, back to my reading channel. Originally, I moved my readings back to my main channel because I was like, I'm not doing readings that often, that it's not gonna be too annoying for people who are looking for readings or people who are not looking for readings to have them at the same place. But I decided to post more often, or try to post more often, reading videos. So I decided that I'm gonna go back to my reading channel. So thank you so much for if you're here. And if you're watching, please like, subscribe, share it with other people, because this is, like a small one. So not a lot of people might immediately notice that I switched back to this channel, even though I will post this info on my main channel. And yeah, I will do the same thing as I did, just hopefully more frequently. I can't promise that I will start immediately because life is life, but I will start posting more pick cards and whatnot whenever I feel like it, and not just once a week or something like that. But I can't promise anything. Currently, you will have a monthly check-in for sure, because the end of the year is kind of like a busy month for me. So yeah, we will see. But there's gonna be timestamps down below, so you can check. The readings are going to be good for your sun, moon, or rising, whichever message connects with you better. So if you check your sun sign and it doesn't really mean anything, check the other two. Maybe there's some messages that you need to see, and if not, then that's okay too. We're not necessarily connect with every reader we watch, obviously. So it's all good. Anything else, you can find me on my main channel, of course. But yeah, please do subscribe, like, and share, because that helps my new and second channel as well. So yeah, let's start, and we're gonna go in an order right now and pull a few cards, preferably 3 for each sign, for a quick check-in, and then an oracle to see what advice we should get. So let's start with Aries. So Aries, in the recent moon, interesting. In the recent past, or something that you're trying to get over, or a place where you're trying to come out, is the Eight of Swords, which is a place where you keep yourself bind to a certain situation or person or thought process or an idea that is not actually real. It's all in your head, as people used to say. And it's not a bad thing, because it just means that for whatever you're struggling with it because you're not able to see that it's not as bad as you think. Because if you look at this crow or raven, it's bind, but it's bind by flowers, not by the swords. The swords are there, they are close by, they are visible. I'm not saying that difficulties are not around you, but you're not as bind to them or the situation you were dealing with as you previously thought. And because we're coming out of it, fortunately, and we're entering into the Two of Swords, it means that you're finally realizing that you have a choice. You can do something about whatever keeping you stuck, keeping you at place. It's more about thoughts and ideas about life and people and how things should work than anything else, because of the swords. And as soon as you're able to make this decision to move forward, or to stop believing that whatever is keeping you at place or stuck is out of your control, as soon as you can weigh the options that you have to move forward or to cut ties or change certain things, you will enter into the Judgment card, which is not about being judged per se, but it's about finally realizing that you are who you are because of the choices that you made, because of the mistakes that you made, that all added up to this person that you are currently in, which I'm not saying it's a perfect person, because there's no such thing, but it means that you're able to accept who you are and why you are who you are, and move forward with that knowledge, because you can integrate the mistakes you made, the positive things you made as well. You can finally see a bit more objectively who you are, and not just your weaknesses, but your strength as well, and you can move forward with that knowledge, which is a wonderful thing. I usually call this card as a level up card. In games, when you gain enough experience, you gain a new set of knowledge, or a new set of abilities or skills, and you can start and move forward in life because you have more than you had previously, and you had that because you're able to integrate everything in, the good, the bad, everything. So that's not an easy thing. It's more so about figuring out who you are, and what's the choice that you need to make about the situation that you found yourself in. But it's a great thing to experience, because it gives you wisdom about yourself and life in general. And your advice is the all that glitters in reverse, and that means that there's gonna be things around you that are not what they seem to be, like I said, with the Eight of Swords, and that it could mean that if something seems too good to be true, it's probably not. So you have to be very discerning about the choice you're making, the options that you're weighing currently, because something is not as, it's not what it seems to be. It's not necessarily like someone who's lying, or someone who's trying to screw you over. It's just that maybe you perceived a certain situation or person in a certain way, and then you realize that it's not true. It's not like that. Something else was happening. But you just have to be smart about your decisions. You need to take some time to figure things out, and don't just go with your emotions, go with your head, I would say, this month. Yeah, so this is your quick check-in. Hope this is useful, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye. This one is Taurus, and in the recent past, or the problem that you're probably dealing with, we have or dealt with, depending, depends on who you are, because it's a general reading. We have the Hanged Man, and that position talks about getting stuck in a position where you're not able to see things for what they are. It's usually a victim mentality, but it can be, it doesn't have to be, the one that we hear all the time, that, oh, you're acting like a victim. It's sometimes life is really, really hard, and you get stuck in a situation because the outside forces are keeping you at place. And sometimes the only thing that you can do is just hold on to your, dandelion and just wait, because you can't do anything. Life is suspended you in a certain position. What you can do with that is try to figure out why you are there, what you can learn from it. I'm not saying, it's an easy thing, but there's a lesson there that you can learn, and you can, integrate the lessons that you're gaining from it. And what you can do about it currently with the Two of Pentacles is find a balance. Try to find a balance between what you have to do, your responsibilities that you probably feel like is overwhelmingly more than the other side is. And the other side is, something that you like to do, reading, walking, drawing, talking to people, whatever. Find something that fills you up, that makes you smile, and try to actually consciously allocate some time to do that, because the everyday life, the responsibilities can really just, roll over you and just steamroll you, and you will be like, just not do anything, because because everything is just, you know, happening, and you're just letting it happen, and you're not saying that, okay, these things need to happen, but I want these things to happen as well. Because if you don't do that, if you're not if you won't be able to find that balance, you're gonna end up in a Three of Swords space, which is about heartbreak. It's about feeling alone. Just, I would say in this situation, because of the Hanged Man and the Two of Pentacles, I would say it's more about feeling sorry for yourself, but for a good reason, because you feel alone, because you feel left out, because you just don't find yourself in the process, or you know, the everyday things that you do. So you have a chance to, you know, not feel lost and not feel the pain that could lead to this situation if you're, you know, in this Hanged Man position where you are suspended in a way. If you find something that you like to do and you're consciously choosing to do that as well, because this phase that you're currently in, and you know, it's good wherever you're watching it, is all about taking care of responsibilities and just waiting for things to turn for the better. It's not about I don't think that you're, or I don't feel that you're in a position where you can actively change a lot about where you are right now. The only thing that you can do is just carve out those little 5 minutes or whatever, you know, amount of time that you can for yourself, because you need to find yourself again a bit more, and not just see yourself in the role that life put you in. Okay, and let's see, your advice card is Message in a Bottle. So there's going to be some news coming in. 15 might be a number, maybe 15th of September could be important, but it's pretty much how I see this card is just hang on, like you know, everybody's kind of hanging on. This tiny mouse on the dandelion, the raven on the swords, and this pelican on the bottle. You just need to hang on, because there's news, good news coming in. Message in a Bottle is not just news, it's about something good is coming in that will help you it will help you feel better and make you feel better, actually. So just hold on, and you know, work on carving those tiny amount of spaces and time for yourself, and just know that there's going to be some sort of a message coming in. It could be in a physical world, or it could be something, if you work with, you know, spirit guides or spirituality, that something is coming from that realm as well. It really depends on where you are with your practice, if you have any. Okay, but yeah, this is your monthly checkup. Hope this is useful. Please like, subscribe, share, do those wonderful things, and see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, Gemini, so your September, or you know, whatever you're watching this. Oh, okay, you have the Nine of Swords in the recent past, or you know, the problem. And the Nine of Swords is about nightmares. It's about staying up all night, worrying, and just trying to figure things out, and just feeling like it can be done, because you know, it's in the middle of the night. Of course, you're not going to be able to see anything positive in whatever keeps you up up all night. But because we have the Nine of Wands in the what can you do, or where you are at position, I would say these, half of these at least, the worries are justified, because there is something that you need to protect yourself from, or you know, protect the life that you want, or who you are from. It could be, you know, it's I can be more specific because it's a general reading, but it means that there was, or there is something in your life that you have to stand up for and say that I'm not letting whatever this situation is take away from who I am and what I stand for. But it means that you're, you know, this card also signifies that you're successful in protecting whatever you're protecting. The 9 is also in the cards just before completing a circle, which means that you're almost done with whatever you're going through. And because we have that in the tendency position, it signifies and suggests that you are able to transform out of this situation. You are able to change whatever is needed to change. You are able to protect whatever is needed to be protected, and go through this transformation that will make you stronger, make you wiser, make you a better person. That is not a bad card in tarot. If you ever watched a tarot reader and you've seen that card come up, most of us are happy to see it, because it suggests that struggles that we are dealing with are coming to an end. Finally, there's something that needs to end, and it's ending finally. You're there, just there. You might feel like you're losing hope, and that things are really hard, and you don't have the energy to go through and just deal with it, whatever it is. But just know that the end is in sight, which is a good thing, because there's going to be something better coming after this transformation. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because transforming from an old self to a new self, from an old workplace to a new workplace, from moving from one relationship to another one, or even from a non-relationship to a relationship, it's not an easy thing. But once you're done with the transformation, you can be like, oh, done. I'm done with it. I can see why things happen, and what I had to go through to be here, and that this was happening for a reason. That's what I'm getting with these three. That it's a reminder that things are happening with a reason and for you, not just to you. I know it's a cliche, but I think it's a very useful thing, and can be very helpful to remind yourself that things can happen, even if they are seemingly bad, for a better reason, for a good reason. You just have to wait and gather your energy to hold on to keep push forward. And your message is the flexible in the reverse, which could mean that there's some flexibility needed. The solution for the problem that you're facing could be that you're adopting a new way of thinking, or you do something that you've never done before. And that will be the one thing that will help you get away from whatever situation you're currently finding yourself in, because you're finally able to see something from a different point of view, and that will be the one thing that will change everything, that will help things to click and to change and shift. That will finally help you get that new start, that we have this egg. And the 19th, again, there's another 9, which if you add up, it's a 10, which is the completion that's coming. But yeah, just hold on to it and try to find something where you can just be more flexible. Maybe not everything needs to be protected with an iron fist. Maybe there's something where you can give, and if you give in that is not that important to you, the other person or whatever the situation includes can give in a certain way that will help you immensely. Maybe that's where the flexibility is needed. Oh, very, very heavy energies for this month. So yeah, good luck with that, and hope this is useful in some way, and see you in the next one, or just on the channel in general. Bye. Hello, Cancer. So your month, we have the Devil in the recent past, or the problem, which suggests that you were struggling with some sort of a situation where you kept yourself tied to certain things, people, places, situations that were not good for you. It could be still true that you're doing things that you know that are not good for you, but you kind of feel like you have no say over the matter, that you have no strength to cut ties with whatever this is. Can be substance abuse, obviously, but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes we just watch too much TV because we don't want to think about certain things, or we don't want to talk to certain people, something like that. We keep ourselves bonded to certain things in our life that we know. We eat certain foods, we know it's not good for us. We don't exercise. We just allow ourselves to be stuck in a way. And you have the Knight of Wands, which is suggesting that you're coming out of this place, even if you don't necessarily feel like right now that you're actually making any good progress. You are. It's not an easy thing, but you're finally able to defend who you are and what's important for yourself, and just cut those ties and leave them in the past, and finally realize that they are not good for me. I'm gonna stop doing them because they are not good for me. And being in the Nine of Wands is not an easy energy. It feels exhausted. It feels like there's just like there's only a tiny amount of energy left in you. But just remember that you're making good progress, and you're actually doing something for yourself finally. And we have the Ten of Pentacles in the tendency, which means that whatever you're hoping to get out of this, when you leave behind whatever is getting you stuck, is gonna be there. It's the Ten of Pentacles is pretty much all wishes coming true. So it's a very, very positive place to end up with, out from the 9th, where we're actually going from the 9 to the 10, even if it's a different suit. It's there's a lot of passion, so it could be about a relationship as well. And if it's a relationship, then it could mean that you're leaving behind a relationship that is no longer working for you, or just not good for you. And you will, because you will, you're able to leave that behind, there's gonna be a chance for you to find one that is actually everything that you want and need in a relationship. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen quickly, but the chance is gonna be there, because you're creating that chance for yourself, because you're valuing yourself finally. That's the big thing, that you're learning to value who you are and what you need and what you want, and that that it's also as important as other people's needs, because Cancers are usually emotional beings, so they tend to put other people's at first. But you're learning that that's not necessarily the only way. That's not the only way to achieve happiness. You can find happiness and a loving relationship if you want, or just a situation where you're actually happy if you put yourself first as well, which is lovely. It's a very strong message. And yeah, we have the change in the wind with the 12. It means that change is coming, and like I said, you're learning to value yourself. I think that's the biggest lesson that you can learn. Obviously, it's your choice. You can do whatever you want to do. You can stay in the situation that you're currently in. It's just an option that if you leave, or if you change things around, things will change for the better. Yeah, okay. So this is your month. Hopefully this, or whenever you're watching this, hopefully this is useful. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. That all helps my tiny channel, and see you in the next one. Bye. Hello Leo, this is gonna be your reading. this is the first positive one, I think. That's overall positive so far that I'm doing these readings. In the recent past, we have the Page of Wands, which is a new optimistic energy where you're trying to learn something, connecting to your passion, connecting to something that makes you excited. It can be an internship, it can be a new hobby that you pick up, anything like that that makes you excited, and it makes you feel creative. And because we have the Fool here, it suggests that there might be a chance to turn this thing into something more, because the tendency is the Nine of Pentacles, which is financial independence, being content with what you have, your resources, your money-wise. I would say that whatever your you started learning recently or started practicing recently, it can be turned into like a side hustle or just something that will actually generate money for you as well, or some sort of a recognition that will make you feel successful. It doesn't have to be money, it depends on how you define success. But because we have the Fool, it requires you to take a leap of faith, because other people might say that, oh, creating clay flowers are just stupid, no one wants to buy clay flowers, but you're passionate about creating clay flowers. So I don't know where the clay flowers are coming from, but this is something like that you have that nudging feeling that this is something that you want to do, and you know that it's coming from your soul, so to speak, that it's not your logical mind that will be like, oh, this can be successful because blah 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 blah. No, it's something that feels like you need to do or you want to do, no matter how it will end. So if you give it a chance and you develop it more a bit, then there will be success coming. And like I said, it doesn't have to mean that you're suddenly start making money out of it. It just means that it's going to be successful in a way that you define success. And if it means that you can create something that will help other people and that will make you feel really good about yourself and the world and what you can do and how you contribute, that's success in my book as well. So something like that. So whatever you were starting recently, just know that the universe is like, let's do this. Okay, Milk and Honey, and this card is everything. It's about abundance and getting everything, like taking a bath in milk and honey, because that's supposed to be like really luxurious or something like that. But it means that abundance is coming, and it connects to your passion project, whatever you're excited or passionate about. So yeah, awesome. Finally something good, and hope whatever it is, you will be successful and you will be happy doing it. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. This was your check-in. Whatever you're watching it doesn't have to be monthly, to be honest. But yeah, see you in the next one. Bye. Hello Virgo, and happy birthday, because you're supposed to have a birthday this month. I mean, by the time you're watching this. Okay, so interesting. We have a King of Wands in the recent past, which suggests that, the King of Wands is someone who can take a tiny, it's not gender related, obviously, it's just the more active, it's the more action-oriented side of the same coin. And it connects to passion, to creativity, to whatever you like to do. And the King of Wands is someone who can take a small idea and turn it into something really big, which is a good place to be. But interestingly, we have the Chariot, and the tendency is the Five of Pentacles, which is feeling isolated and experiencing a loss. So I kind of feel like that there, that you were in a position or a place where you felt like you knew where you are and who you are and what you want from life, and you felt relatively successful, but there was a nudging feeling that, you know, things were not moving forward, because the Chariot is all about taking our logical side and our emotional side and make them work together so that we can move forward. And when the Chariot is not moving, it's because something is out of focus. So the problem could be that only a part of you was satisfied with this situation, when, you know, or the way you were living your or you are living your life. And moving forward will lead into a phase of life that will, in the long run, better suit who you are, really. But in order to experience something new, you have to let go of the old. And I would say that's why the Five of Pentacles is here. That's why you will feel a little lost, a little isolated, because giving up the way of life that you know, and you know how things work, who are the key players in your life, in your family, in your work life, in your friend group, you know, in every area of your life. You know how people act, what to expect from them, and what to give them to satisfy their needs. You know that. But it's not good. It's not who you are. And you feel like you need to move forward and out of this situation. And, you know, people might think that you're being an idiot for giving up, for example, a job that on paper satisfies every need that you can have, but you feel just nothing. You know, you're not excited, you're not passionate like you should supposed to be. And it's gonna be a slow move. Yeah, you know, like we have a tiny snail there at first, but once you find that balance, once you realize that what you want and who you are, and, you know, find a way to work, make them work together, and you start moving forward, you're gonna, you know, things are gonna change. And yes, that will make you feel a little lost, a little isolated, a little alone for a while. But know that it's just a necessary phase that you have to get to reach something better and something, you know, like something new. It's part of the change, and it's not fun, but unfortunately it's necessary currently. Because yeah, I mean, your advice is not for you. Whatever you're dealing with, no matter what other people say, it's not for you. And try to take comfort in knowing that the change that you're working towards is gonna be satisfying to you on a deep level, which is very, very important. And we have a number 6 and a 7 here, and a 5. 5, 6, 7, you know. Interestingly, sometimes you need to take a little step back, because, you know, 7, 6, and a 5, or, you know, if you look at this, it's 7, 5, and a 6. You know, one step backwards, but then you can take another step. I'm not saying to forward, because you will know where you want, what you want actually from life. This is a great time to figure this one out. And, you know, if you feel something is not for you, it's because it's not for you. Okay, it's an interesting month, so please do let me know how it resonates. If it's not resonating with your sun sign, please, you know, remember to check out your rising or your moon, because sometimes messages are there. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next one. Hello, Libra. This is your reading. Okay, so I'm not gonna say it's for September because it's kind of timeless, but, you know, if you want to, it's for September. In the recent past, or, you know, like what can cause you some problems, we have the 8 of Wands, and interesting, we have an 8, a 7, and a 6, which was something that I noticed in the previous one. So interesting, you know, we have one step, you know, we're taking one step forward and 2 steps back, but then we're taking 1 step forward again, which is great. And it kind of feels like that there was a lot of things in recently that felt overwhelming, It can be, you know, related to any area of your life. Doesn't have to be specific either. It can just feel that there was a lot of change, or you know, emotions and a lot of things moving around, and you were just like, oh, I don't even know where to focus and where to start and what to do, because there was a lot of things happening all at once. Sometimes it can feel really overwhelming. What you can do, and what you need to do is, with the Lovers card, is making a choice that is the ethical choice that aligns with your values, because there might be that you have to change things in your life, let go people or allow people to come in your life and stand up for yourself and what you believe in, and choose yourself in a certain, in regarding you know, something that's happening. Because if you don't, then you will let other people just derail you from the path that you're working on. Because currently we have the tendency, the Chariot in the tendency position, which means that you can move forward, you can find a way to make your logical self work with your emotional self and set goals that both sides would be satisfied with. You know, like, you know that you need to do certain things because those are your responsibilities, but you also want to do certain things, and you can find a way to make the two sides to be on the same page. And once you do that, once you make those choices that are aligned with your values, and could be a job, could be just the way you act at your job, and not necessarily, you know, finding a new one or leaving your old one. It could be, but it doesn't have to be like that. It's just that you realize that, okay, I need to do my job because I need to earn money, but I'm not gonna get involved in office gossip, for example, because I'm not someone who likes to gossip, and I don't, you know, agree with people who do that. So I'm gonna keep away from that. And that's a decision that will help you move forward with whatever you're dealing with. It could be just, you know, you're gonna be able to work easier because you realize that you don't have to be everywhere and do everything. You can delegate as well. You know, delegate the things that are coming into your life. You don't have to solve everything all alone. The Lovers could suggest that there are people in your life who are, you know, good for you, and they are supportive, and they want to be there, and they want to help as well. It very well could be a romantic relationship as well, but because it's a general reading, you know, I like to leave that to the last part. But it could be, definitely. Okay, and your advice card is the here and now. So that can be very useful if you know, think about the Air One's energy, when a lot of things are coming all at once and you just don't know what to focus on. The here and now card reminds you to just take a deep breath and don't think about the past, don't think about the future, just try to solve whatever you're currently dealing with. Just pick something, make that your priority, deal with it, and then move on to the next one. And, you know, deal with it in a way that aligns with your values and, you know, with who you are. So yeah, it can be there's a lot of movement, and you can deal with it if you just take a deep breath and just for a few minutes just sit down and concentrate on your breathing, and, you know, just slow down a bit. Because I kind of feel like you need to slow down, sort things through, and then you can start moving again. Okay, yeah, this is your reading. Hope this is useful, and see you in the next one. Bye. Well, hello Scorpio, this is your reading, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not an easy one. In the recent past, or, you know, the problem, we have the Ten of Swords, which means and suggests that there's, you know, that place where you feel like you hit rock bottom. and it's just too much and you can't deal, and it's very overwhelming and it's very hard. And you know, if you feel like you can deal with things alone, please look up and reach out for a therapist if you can, if that's an option, if you feel like you need to do that, because tarot readings are not obviously equal to a good therapist. So if you have someone that you can talk about how you feel, please do so, because that can help. The good news is that we have the Wheel of Fortune in the current position, and the Wheel of Fortune is about not just a chance, you know, it's usually a positive card, but it's also a reminder that nothing is stagnant, everything is always in change. So it doesn't matter why you feel the way you feel, why you feel like you hit rock bottom, just know that the good news is that you can't go any lower. Things are going to start slowly moving up. They're not going to be immediately easy, because that would, you know, just be fake, and you wouldn't even be able to believe if there would be like the most positive card on the other side. The card we have on the other side is the Ten of Wands, another 10, which also suggests that a cycle is ending, but it's ending slowly, because the Ten of Wands is a place where you're still carrying too much, that you're carrying other people's responsibilities or weight or drama or problems, and you need to recognize that, you need to realize that, and you need to put down what's not yours, what doesn't belong to you, because part of the reason why you're feeling so low and where you are right now is because you're involved in other people's lives in a way that you're not supposed to. It's very hard sometimes to let go, because that's the only way to, you know, life. But in order to be able to feel better, to get better, and, you know, to start finally moving out from this space that you are in currently, you need to let go and take care of yourself first. Because I kind of feel like, you know, you need to just let go. There's a lot of things that you need to let go and figure out. But there is a chance to do that. The Wheel of Fortune is definitely a reminder that nothing can be horrible all the time and forever. It's just not how life works. Things are constantly in change and shift, and things will start getting better, but you need to prioritize yourself in order for that to happen. And let's see your advice. Oh, we have the higher power. Awesome. Which is a reminder that, you know, things are not just happening for a reason, but you are not alone. You have access to help if you believe in, you know, anything like that. Of course, doesn't matter how or what the higher power represents to you, but just remind yourself that you're not alone, and you can get help, and you can receive and use the help that they are offering if you're open to it. So just be open to, you know, reminders like signs that you connect to the universe, or, you know, God or higher power. It doesn't matter how you define it, because you're not alone. You're protected, even if it doesn't feel like that. But you're asked to, you know, choose yourself and to find some stability and let go some of the baggage that you're carrying that's no longer, I'm not even gonna say useful, because extra baggage is not useful, but that you can recognize that it's no longer yours. It's a very heavy one, but, you know, just remind yourself that you're not alone, and then you can do this, and you will be able to slowly move out of this place. Well, I hope it's useful, and please, like I said, if you feel like that, reach out to a therapist, or, you know, at least a friend or someone that you can talk to, because that can already help feel better. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so hello Sagittarius. Your reading is an interesting one. It kind of suggests that you went through a big transformation recently, in the recent past. You finished the cycle, you know, you reached the top of a certain mountain, something that, you know, you had as a goal, you achieved it. And, you know, which is all good and well and awesome, but it kind of feels like there's some now what feeling after it, because we have the Six of Swords in the current energy, which suggests a situation that is no longer serving you and you need to move forward. And because we have, you know, the word with it, it's not a bad situation, but even if you know, achieve success, you can't stay in that position. You have to find something that will make you excited, will make you feel happy again. Because sometimes when we reach a goal, a big goal, like finishing college or getting that job that we really wanted, or getting into a relationship, getting married, you know, something like that, a big thing. Or, you know, like children leaving the home, because we have kind of that parent and child energy here as well. And, you know, they leave and you're excited for them and you're like, oh, okay, I'm done with raising my child, so to speak. But now what, you know, like, okay, they are left and now I can do whatever, but what do I even want to do? You need to start figuring yourself out again. It obviously doesn't have to be, you know, that you have children, it's just an example. But it suggests that you're gonna be able to do that. You're gonna be able to move forward. And it's interesting because the Six of Swords and the Eight of Cups is kind of similar in energy. Both of them are leaving a situation that is no longer serving you, that you put energy and time in, but you recognize that is not good for you anymore, and leaving them. So it's kind of interesting that the Six of Swords suggests that you're starting to leave behind that, but you're still carrying some baggage with you. But you're, you know, moving forward and you're recognizing that you're carrying those baggages, and, you know, there's extra load that you shouldn't, because you can't fly if you know, you're carrying a lot of swords. And you recognize that and you're like, okay, I can leave everything that was connected to that behind and walk away. So it highlights the progress. It highlights that it's not an easy transition. It's not an easy thing to do, but you can do it, and you start doing it this month. You have a chance to start doing it, obviously, because, you know, everything is your choice. And your advice is the observer in reverse, which is 49, if that number is meaningful, or 13, which is that, which is transformation. And when this card appears in reverse, it kind of means that we're concentrating on the big picture only, and we're not noticing the small details that are requiring some attention as well. And that can be that you know, the baggages that I said that you're still carrying, you're still carrying it because you just recognize that the big step that you need to take is this, but you don't recognize that there are small changes as well that you need to implement. So it's just kind of invite you to not just look at the big picture to see where you want to go, which is important, of course, but see the details, see the finer steps or smaller steps that you need to take along the road as well. Because, you know, something is in the details that you need to see, which can be for some, very specifically for some, a detail in a contract that you're signing. I don't know who, but that could be something specific for someone. Okay, so yeah, this is your reading. Hope this is useful and see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, Capricorn. So you have the Ten of Pentacles in the recent past, the Eight of Cups in the current energy, and the Seven of Swords in the tendency. Which is quite interesting because the Ten of Pentacles is about family in a way. It's about the legacy that you're creating. It's about finding and achieving everything that you ever wanted, especially in the financial area of your life. And you know, if you haven't done that, then it can be that you had the clear idea of what you want your legacy to be, where you want your life to go, and what you want to achieve with it. But because we have the Eight of Cups in the current energy, it suggests that you need to actually leave this idea behind. And this is a hard one because you spent energy, love, care, thought to creating it, to coming up with the life that you either already have or you wanted to create, but it's not a good fit for you for some reason. It's just not in alignment with who you are right now. Maybe it was, you know, in alignment with an older version of yourself, but it's not anymore. And we have the Seven of Swords in the tendency. The Seven of Swords can be about self-sabotaging, about being sneaky, about winning a war by doing something in the battle that you're not too proud of. But I kind of feel like that it's something that you have to do, even though you're not going to be very proud of yourself for how you're ending things. Okay, there's two things. It can be two ways. It can go two ways. It's one thing that you need to do this and deal with the consequences, that you know that it's not a, you know, not the best way to end whatever we're talking about, being sneaky. But you need to do that in order to be able to finally cut ties and finish and just leave. And you're not going to be proud of yourself for whatever you're doing. But you can only see this way out of this picture. Or it can be that this is a reminder not to do that, because you're not going to be able to look into the mirror if you leave in a way that will leave the other people involved hurt. If I want to be very blunt and give you an easy example, and obviously it's not going to be good for everybody, but the example that comes to mind is leaving a family by cheating. And obviously, you know, I'm not judging you. You have to judge the actions you're taking yourself. But if you do that, and I'm not saying you specifically, you're watching it, but if you look at a situation, if someone does that, they have to, and they knowingly do that because they're doing it so that the other person finds out, and you know, they can finally be like, oh yeah, it's not working. Bye. You have to be okay and accept the consequences that will cause, that something like that will cause. Not saying that it, you know, it's what's happening. Could be true for some, you know, some person, but that's the easiest and clearest example that I can give you. It can be that you're in a job that if you sell, or, you know, not sell, but if you let the rival company know certain things, they're gonna offer you a job, and you know, they're gonna be like, oh, you can come here, and then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I can leave this because I hate that. But it's not gonna be, you know, something that you're gonna be proud of, because you're gonna earn that new position in a way that you can't be proud of, and that's, you have to be okay with that. So something like that. So, you know, just remember, there's an easy way and there's a hard way, and you're supposed to choose the hard way because that's how it usually goes. That's what aligns with your actual real values. So yeah, it's either or. A very interesting reading. I don't think I ever get one something like this. So I would understand if you don't want to say that it resonates. But your advice is, we have the Imagine, but in the reverse, which is 20. And when this card appears reverse, it's pretty much tells you that, you can't imagine that there's a better way to live your life. You feel like you're stuck, and you just don't even see that things could get different or better, even if you really want to. But this is a reminder that they can, first thing, plus you have a power to imagine a certain outcome and act on it. And it's kind of interesting. I kind of feel like these two reflect each other. There's a lot of water, in these two, a lot of emotions. So yeah, just know that whatever you're doing to leave, what you're leaving behind, you have to be okay with the steps you're taking. That's what I would say. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Hope this was useful, and see you in the next one. Bye. Hello Aquarius, another very interesting reading. There could be a relationship version, which I will tell you later, but I'm gonna just give you the general, if it's not a relationship kind of reading. So we have in the recent past the Hierophant, which is all about being a teacher or learning from a teacher. It's all about learning and finding structure and being part of an established system. Not necessarily a bad thing, It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can give you comfort. It can give you a box that you can actually be who you want to be inside of. Sometimes it's, even if you're in Aquarius and you're like, oh, I hate all the, rules and whatever. Sometimes it's good to know the rules, because you know how to break them and how to work around them. It can either mean that you are in a position where you can learn something, or that there is a problem that I kind of feel like you were, more open to learning than not learning from it, because we have the Nine of Cups in the current position, which is awesome. It means emotional fulfillment. It means being content with what you have and being able to be grateful for the small things, being able to be appreciative of what you have, which is a very good place to be. It's a very hard place to be sometimes, but it's a very good place to be, to just look at your life and appreciate what you have. With the tendency of the Four of Wands, which is celebration, is just achieving a goal kind of energy, spending time with others. It can mean that it's time to open up a bit, because this can be signifying being independent, spending time alone. But it kind of feel like that you're ready to open up and find other people to spend time with, and just, enjoy life a bit more outside of your own comfort zone. It's what I'm feeling. Which can be that you're, integrating the lessons that you've learned in the recent past. And because the Hierophant is a major arcana, I would say these are big lessons that you've learned. It kind of makes me feel like that, because of you can recognize who you are on a more refined level, you can be more of yourself amongst other people and find your own company, a company that's better suited for who you are, which is great. And the relationship version is very interesting, because we have the Hierophant, which is connected to marriage, but we have the Nine of Cups, which is independence. So there could be a problem with the idea of a committed relationship and what it means and what you have to be if you're in one, because you feel like you could lose your independence if you enter in a relationship, or you entered in one and you feel like you're losing that, or that you don't really know how to become more than one, so to speak, even if it sounds cheesy, because you need to find a way to integrate on a certain level, not fully obviously, with the other person, but you can figure that one out and you can work on it, because we have the Four of Wands, which can mean a marriage, you know, it can mean a celebration, it can mean a commitment. So it can be that you are struggling with the idea of being in a committed relationship, figuring it out, what it means to you, and because you can do that and be you know, in communication with the other person, get on the same page, you can actually move forward and enter into one relationship that would be how you imagine a committed relationship is. And, you know, fill in the blanks, because it can mean a whole lot of things, especially these days, which is awesome. So that's the relationship version, but obviously it's not good for everybody. So, but if it's good for you, then, you know, I'm happy for you for you being happy. But yeah, let's see what's your advice card is. Oh, go the distance. Okay. Go the distance is talking about setting goals and actually working towards them and doing everything that you can and not giving up halfway, because you have the goal in front of you and you're ready to move forward and do your best. So, you know, it's just putting in the work pretty much. But maybe it's requiring something from you where you actually have to go deeper, so to speak, or more out of your comfort zone than you expected it. But this card is asking you to do that, because you can gain a lot if you're able to take that extra step. So yeah, good luck. And I know that getting out of a comfort zone is not a fun thing to do, but in this case, it's gonna just bring so much more happiness into your life that is completely worth it. So yeah, do it. And thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, hello Pisces. I love your reading. Let's just say that this is one of the good ones. In the recent past, we have the Ace of Swords, which means getting clarification or clarity on a situation, finally realizing for something how it works, why it is, you know, getting that aha moment and being able to act on that realization. And coming out from that, we have the Sun in the current position, which means that it's a longer, harmonious, joyful and happy period that comes after the rain. You know, the sun is coming out, we have rainbows and everything. It also means getting clarity, which we have with the Ace of Swords. So if it's not a happy period that you're going through, that it can very much emphasize the fact that you got clarity on something very important. And that's something that you need to value as well, you know, even if it doesn't feel like you're being happy, but it suggests that you're going through, so to speak, a happier period, which is good. But because we have the Temperance in the tendency card, it's a reminder that you need to find balance in whatever your or however your life is currently, because, you know, it can't always be rainbows and butterflies. But if you learn to appreciate these period of times more, then they can happen more often. And the Temperance is also suggesting that whatever positive change that you're implementing in your life, it's also part of something that's a bit slower but equally positive and long-lasting change. So it's definitely a very positive turn of events that's coming. If it's not there yet, then you're getting that realization pretty quickly. It's coming. You're gonna finally be able to, you know, see certain things for what they are and adjust things accordingly and experience happiness, which is like amazing, honestly. But know that it's not gonna stop here, you know, it's not gonna be a short-lived thing, because whatever you're dealing with, it has a long-lasting positive effect on your life, which I love it, honestly, I love. And your advice card is round and round, which is interesting because the round and round card is about being stuck in a situation that is going in circles. But in this case, I kind of feel like that's the one that you're getting out of, you know. You're going round and round, but you're not going in the same circle exactly, because this is a spiral. It's always leveling up, it's always expanding, it's always a bit changing. And maybe that's the thing that you're realizing about life, and that's why you're gonna be able to appreciate the ebbs and flows of it a bit more. But yeah, this is my favorite card in the deck, by the way, which is on the back. There's the number 25 if it's meaningful, or 19 and 14 as well. Okay, yeah. This is a good one, so I hope you're, you know, enjoying what you're having right now. And if it's not, know that the clarity that you're getting is going to lead to a positive, slow but positive change, a long-lasting change in your life. So just, you know, keep on going. Even if it feels like it's round and round, it's not. It's actually a spiral, and you're elevating and you're ascending and all that. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. Hope this was useful, and see you in the next one. Bye.